going terribly wrong. I hope that's not the case. But I have actually been spending a lot of time, starting last night, which was Black Thursday. No, Thanksgiving. It's called Thanksgiving. But starting last night and also this morning, I've been looking up a bunch of tech deals. The idea being to share those with you guys, them being curated by me, and also hopefully a little bit more along the lines of technology, computers, all that good stuff. I actually also have a bunch of links that are down in this video's description. So if you guys go down there, you can click on the links and go directly to these tech deals, and hopefully all of them will remain in stock and available for a decent period of time. It is actually Black Friday right now. It is late morning, and a lot of these deals are going to be proceeding throughout the weekend and then Cyber Monday as well. Granted, it is that really super busy time of the year, so we never know what's going to sell out, what's still going to be available, but hopefully all this stuff should be good. All right. Let's move right along and dive into it. Now, I need to make a couple notes here right up at the front. One is that I have not received any money or compensation or anything like that for any of these links I'm giving you guys. None of this stuff is paid or solicited. The only way that I am benefiting from this, other than your hopefully love and adulation, is the Amazon links are using my Amazon affiliate code. So if you click on those or just click on my Amazon affiliate code before you do shopping this year, I get a little kickback. Helps me out a lot, and really appreciate that. Other than that, though, none of this stuff is paid, so I want to point that out. I don't like doing that stuff. All right. Yeah, late morning. It is late morning, as Chad is pointing out, but it's still late morning here. It's still Black Friday, I promise. All right, so I'm going to go over some PC hardware components, component at a time, CPU, motherboard, graphics card, all those good things. I also have some monitors and peripherals towards the end, so if you're watching this in the future, feel free to jump forward and check those out. Or if you're watching live, hey, thanks for joining me. I'm streaming live to my YouTube channel. Okay, let's start with CPUs, shall we? Kind of right at the top of the game. Jumping over here, and Tiger Direct changed this deal, like literally, well, I don't know what time they did it, but I set this deal up before, and it's not really there anymore. It's one of those site-wide promos that Tiger probably found out about, and then they dropped the price of the CPU. So the CPU was $215, and then you could get $25 off, $100 if you use Visa, the checkout at Tiger Direct, and then you could get this for about $189. As of now, it's going to be more like $200, which isn't as much of a good deal, but it's still there. Tiger Direct, apparently, after being sold for $12 million, is just trying to clear out the inventory. But they're not trying hard enough, damn it. CPU deals are actually pretty hard to come across. But fortunately, not all is lost. Here's an AMD deal over on Newegg for the FX-8350. Quite capable 8-core CPU, $150. This has been a solid performer for a lot of people. Granted, it's not the newest architecture or anything like that, but if you're an AMD fan, or you just like the company and want to support them, or you just want a pretty decent deal on a 8-core CPU, check that out. AMD FX-8350 for $150. Okay. Moving along. Realistically, guys, if you really want a good deal on a CPU, you should live next to a Microcenter. I've said this many times before, but they have like doorbuster deals all the time on their CPUs, so go to Microcenter and find a walk-in store. I apologize for any of you guys who can't do that. Just like, get up and go if it's not local to you. I have one about a 20-minute drive away, 20 to 25 minutes depending on traffic. And it's worth it for me a lot of times to go down there and do that. They have stuff going on like an i5-6500 for $200, 4690K here for $180, like for real. 180. You can even get a 6600K for an actual reasonable price of $230. Anyway, I'll stop teasing you guys who aren't in a close location to a Microcenter with those. Let's move on to GPUs though. There's actually, I wasn't able to find a ton of good GPU deals until I just started specifically searching at Newegg and not looking for featured stuff, but using the drill down menus to find stuff. So here's a MSI GTX 970. This is the black and white version. It's overclocked, and holy crap, this is a good deal. First off, you got to click see price and cart. That's always a good thing. Why is my phone going off? $290 is what you get this like out of the gate, and there's a $30 mail-in rebate card. So a GTX 970 for $260 total. Kind of nice. That's a pretty significant deal. Since we are deal hunting today, I am going to be including some mail-in rebates and that kind of thing. So please bear with me on that. If you're really being frugal and trying to get a good deal, it's a good way to get a much better deal on a graphics card or something like that. Speaking of which, here's a GTX 980. These are typically $550-ish. There's been some deals that have been down in the $500-ish, $510 range. But how about $440, like what you pay, and then also a $30 mail-in rebate card for GTX 980 from MSI. This is also their G1 gaming or their gaming 4G version, not G1 gaming, that's Gigabyte. And a $30 mail-in rebate card makes this $410 all together. I think that's a pretty damn good deal for a GTX 980. I did want to include some AMD options here as well, so I went hunting for those. And here's an R9 380, the Strix edition from ASUS, which is a very nice card. I mean, all these cards from ASUS are very well designed. They have nice coolers on them. They stay nice and quiet. Constantly well rated, although this one only has 2 feedback. But anyway, $170 and a $30 mail-in rebate card. Again, very nice deal. So $140 total for an R9 380. It's a 2 gig card, so bear that in mind. That is probably the biggest drawback for this particular one. But still, $140 for some really nice performance there. I wouldn't recommend this card if you're going above 1080. But if you're on a budget, 1080 graphics card. All right, let's move on to motherboards. There are some good motherboards. If you're thinking about Skylake, here's a fantastic deal for a Skylake motherboard from Gigabyte. This is the GA-Z170X Gaming 3 ATX motherboard. So this has the full Z170 chipset, which means you can overclock with it. This isn't even like a cut rate Z170 board. It actually has some decent power delivery components and that kind of thing, so you can actually overclock with it. And this is on sale for $160 on B&H Photo Video right now, but you can get a $10 mail-in rebate, which is listed right here. And you can do $50 off. So bear that in mind. The promo code you want to use is BFMBGIGA, and you get $50 off of this thing. So the total comes to $100 and free shipping for like a not bare bones Z170 board, like a good one from Gigabyte with like the metal reinforced PCIe slots and that kind of thing. If you are on a budget, you might be looking at some of those 4690K options, for example, the slightly older Haswell or Devil's Canyon refresh of Haswell. In that case, you would want a Z97 board. Here's one from ASUS. This is over on Newegg, and this one is a updated version for Z97, which means it's got USB 3.1. It is LGA 1150, so don't buy this if you're going for a Skylake processor. It's got like M.2 in there, and it includes a $40 mail-in rebate card, so $5 cheaper than that Z170 board. $95 total after that mail-in rebate card. Nice for an ASUS Z97 board. ASUS, they do a good job. Let's move on to memory, though. Some really fantastic memory deals. I actually got I was pointing to several of these through Slickdeals, so I'm going to include their link as well in the description. But here's a G.SKILL Ripjaws X kit for $30, 2 by 4 gig, 8 gigs total, DDR3 1600, which is fine. You don't need anything faster than that unless you're relying on an iGPU. Then you might want to go faster, but $30 freaking dollars. 2 by 4 gig. That is a fantastic deal for G.SKILL. If you're in the DDR4 market, if you've just jumped up to X99 or Skylake Z170, for example, you will want DDR4. Well, you need DDR4. Here's a 16 gig kit, 2 by 8 gigs of G.SKILL. This is the Ripjaws 5 series, which has this kind of fancier new heatsink design, and $75 for that. You can get a slightly faster version of this for like $3 or $4 more, the 2400 speed. And honestly, there's quite a few deals going on in memory here. So here's the Slickdeals article on that, and this has a bunch more listed here. Again, this is down in the video's description if you guys want to head over there and check that out, because they have a whole listing, and I didn't want to go over all of them. I didn't want to spend too much time on memory. Let's move on to storage. I should have looked up some hard drives. There was a couple 4 terabyte hard drive deals out there, but I didn't pick any of them up. I have a couple SSD deals, though. Sandisk apparently is liquidating some of their slightly older SSD stock, so you can get the 240 gig SSD Plus, which is not the fastest Sandisk SSD by any means, but even a like mid-range SSD is going to be night and day difference if you're upgrading from mechanical in particular. And 240 gigs is a really nice amount, and $60 with free shipping. Like, buy 3 of them or 4, I don't know, buy a few of them maybe. $60 for a 240 gig SSD. Again, not the fastest, but still quite nice. Over on Adorama, They have the 960 gig version. This is the Ultra II, which is a little bit faster than the Plus that we saw. Still not as fast as the Extreme 2 that they have, but this one's $200 for 960 gigs. Granted, a little bit more expensive, but a 1 terabyte or practically 1 terabyte SSD is super, super nice to have. Yeah. Okay. And for those of you in chat asking for UK deals, I'm sorry I don't have any of those lined up. These are all fairly pretty much US. I didn't know they celebrated Black Friday in the UK. Do they? So maybe it's starting to bleed over. We're getting international Black Friday shopping mania everywhere. Anyway, let's move on to some cases. I just got a couple cases. This one's actually directly from the Corsair website, but they have a nice deal going. It's the Obsidian 550D. I'm going to take a sip of water and just let you guys look at this picture for a while. This case has been out, it's not new by any chance, but I have actually built in this case, which is the reason I picked it out, and it's really well built. I like the Obsidian series from Corsair. It has all the features you would want. It's got USB 3.0 on the front, plenty of room, removable drive cages, and it's got the same inner frame that a lot of the Obsidian cases use. So yeah, I've built in this. It's really quiet too. It's got the kind of closed off front panel. Anyway, $80 for that. I believe it also has free shipping, although don't quote me on that one. I've not shopped at the Corsair website. And then I found this little guy over at Newegg, the Phanteks ATX Mid-Tower Enthoo Pro M. I like how Newegg puts all these words before the actual title of the case on their thing. Anyway, Enthoo Pro M, very full-featured case from Phanteks. If you guys have looked at Phanteks cases, they throw lots in there. This is a nice option for $60. Fully black painted interior and all that good stuff. Again, click the link if you want to look at more stuff like, it's got dust filters and all that. The build quality on the Phanteks cases is not always quite as sturdy as some of the ones that we see from like Corsair and Cooler Master, but the trade-off is you do get a really, really nice feature set for that, and $60 for that one is very nice. Let's move on to power supplies. I only have one for you, one power supply, but it's a good one. In fact, actually, the EVGA Supernova 850 watt was on sale at Newegg earlier this morning, and then it stopped at some point. So that's why I'm going with this one. But this is the Supernova 650 watt, which is going to be just fine for pretty much anyone who's not running a dual card configuration, even up to like a Fury X or a 980 Ti. This power supply will handle. 80 plus platinum, which is why I picked it out. EVGA, which means that they have like nice all black cabling, so it looks pretty. And $100 is the sale price. And then a $30 mail-in rebate card makes it $70 total. So if you guys want a nice solid power supply that will last you a while through multiple builds and that kind of thing, and 80 plus platinum, like literally if you're going from a non-80 plus rated power supply to this and you run your PC a decent amount, you will notice like your power bill drop. Efficiency is very important like that. Anyway, let's move on to some other stuff outside the PC. Anyway, if you guys want to take all those parts and put them all together, you could probably build a pretty decent system. I was going to do a full build, but I was taking too much time just getting this set up today, and I just wanted to move forward. All right, let's look at some monitors, shall we? I picked out a couple ultra wides, and this is probably specifically because I have been working on my review for this monitor back here. The Acer Predator X34, which is a beautiful monitor, very expensive, and that video should be coming out this weekend. I'm working on editing it right now. But because of that, and because of the size and the resolution of it, the size and resolution, I was like, man, 34-inch ultra-wide is a really nice sweet spot. It's big. It's not as difficult to run as a full 4K monitor. It fills your frame of view, and it doesn't feel like some of the 1080 ultra wides that just seem a little bit too small and thin and whatever. Like it's a nice size. So other 34-inch ultra wides that I have listed here. This one's from LG. This is for sale over on Adorama, and it's $600, and then there's a $50 mail-in rebate, so $550 for this LG 21:9 ultra wide. This one's not curved. But you don't really need it to be curved. And I don't know a whole lot about this particular monitor. I just know that they're probably all using that same IPS panel. Honestly, the curved and the non-curved ones. Oh, out of stock. Oh crap. Well, sorry guys, this one's out of stock. But I also wanted to show you this Dell because it was also a pretty nice price. but it's out of stock. This one you could get down to $650 by using a code, which I had listed, but I've lost track of where I am on my notes. So yeah, anyway, it's sold out, so sorry. I don't know what to tell you guys about that. I wanted to have no sold out products in here, but you know, it's tough. All right, here's another monitor from Monoprice. This is actually a monitor that my wife is getting, and when she was looking at it, she was like, "Is this a good option?" And I was like, "Well, let me look. 27-inch, 2560 by 14 WQHD, and it's IPS. It's not super. It's like 60 hertz, so it's not really fast response time, but it's for production and color depth and all that kind of stuff. But $250 for 27-inch. You can find some other 27-inch, 2560 by 1440 monitors, but they are usually by like Qnix and some of the other brands, like some of the Korean brands that come over, which sometimes have QC issues and that kind of thing. Monoprice is located in the US and stuff, so $250 for that. If you don't need the super fast response time or refresh rate, 60 hertz, this is a really nice panel and can step you up from 1080 without necessarily breaking the bank. $250 for that one. And if you're on a budget, I got a bargain here from Acer. This is over on Amazon, and this one is $100 for a 24-inch LED backlit monitor. This one's not going to be super awesome, but I would say, especially if you're using anything sub 1080 right now, jumping up to this for $100. 24 inches, a decent size. I think it's going to be a great option. So nice budget monitor option there for anyone who's interested. Some more peripherals here, though. This was a really nice deal, actually. This one was also available over on Amazon, I believe, but they seem to have changed the price this morning. This is an Audio-Technica ATH M50X Pro monitoring headphones. Really nice headphones, as well as a blue Yeti mic, together for $170. That's $129 off MSRP. And like I said, Amazon had this for $159 earlier, but it seems to have gone away. But Adorama still has it. It's a nice little combo there. And anyone who's maybe getting into streaming or something like that, you got the mic and you got the headphones, and I think that'd be a good option. Okay, I noticed that mechanical RGB keyboards seem to be about $20 off. I don't want to say across the board, but a lot of them. Corsairs seem to be like in the $140-ish range instead of the $160 to $170 range that they usually are. So here's a K70, very popular one, RGB mechanical keyboard, down to $140 right now. MSRP is $170 if you're into that. I just recently did a video on this keyboard, which is why I also spotted it. This is down to $150 from, $130, which is $30 off the price it was selling at, which was $160. So if you want an actual genuine Cherry MX keyboard, seems to be a good time to do that. And that is all. Yeah, that's all. Those are all of my tech picks. Again, I'd like to say I've looked at every single website that exists on the internet and found you all the best deals, but I can't quite say I did that. I did a lot of research, though, and these are all things that they're products that I feel like are good products. They're prices that I feel are pretty compelling compared to what's been available otherwise. And hopefully you guys have found maybe a few deals here if you're feeling like the pickings were slim for Black Friday so far. But remember, it's just started. We got the whole weekend. We got Cyber Monday coming too. So I will encourage you guys, if you're watching this video and you have spotted something else somewhere, down in the comments, please post any ideas or deals that you might find so that our other folks could find those and buy things, because it is that season. It's that time of year. Also, don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it or found any good deals on it. You can subscribe to my channel for more tech videos. You can use my Amazon affiliate code. I would definitely encourage that if you're shopping at Amazon anyway. It costs you nothing, and it gives me some nice support for the channel. So again, that link is in the description. Just you can fill up your shopping cart, click the link, and then check out, and then that's pretty much how you do it. Thank you guys all for joining, especially thanks to you guys who have jumped in for the live stream, because I wasn't planning on doing this live, and then I was like, why not? So yeah, appreciate that, and I will be coming with the Acer Predator X34 video very soon this weekend. So stay tuned, have a wonderful holiday weekend, and we'll see you all next time. Wait, I have to click the thing. Where'd it go? It's over here. All right, bye guys.